When I opened the craft kit, I was immediately drawn to the beautiful dies that come in with that beautiful edges, and I created a Christmas card, very simple, using this white card and blue card like that. However, then I thought these papers are so beautiful, and what I wanted to create is a paper piecing, because a lot of the time we use them for projects like that. You can see the red cardstock and the beautiful handmade paper, or say for instance to die cut. Like here I just die cut the flowers and I emboss the cards and die cut it, and we are left over with a lot of different pieces that are small. And sometimes, well, most of the time we kind of dispose of them, but it's nice to be able to use them. So I'm going to be showing you a technique that is using double-sided craft sheets and using them to create a background and striking colors as well. So here I have got an A6 piece of double-sided adhesive sheets from Craft Perfect. So I'm gonna take one of the liners out, the protector sheet in there, and so it's sticky. The other side also is sticky. So I'm gonna start with the longest one, and I'm using the mat as much as possible to center it, so to give me a straight line. Now it is important when you do this technique that those strips have been cut properly with a guillotine to make sure that the angles are square, because what we are going to do next, if we line them up and they are not in perfect straight cut, they will create little gaps in there, so we don't want that. So we want to have as much as possible that there is no gaps showing through. Now that is easy with the handmade paper, but sometimes when you have got card like you know, the Craft Perfect one, then it will show the color underneath it. Now the Craft Perfect double-sided sheets are transparent, so whatever color underneath, say a white card, will show through. Now I'm just placing them with the texture side, the beautiful side up, and then just placing them, touching each other, and there it is. Now, for instance, I want to create a little bit more of a pattern, like bolder one, so I kind of go like so in here, and now I would like to have that way as well. And now I can go in and like that. Now you can see that this one isn't straight, and neither is that one, but that's why I keep them in that side. And then I have got the same with this one. I'm just gonna put it so you can see that there would be a gap, and then I'm gonna see if this one is straight. If not, I would just take my Tonic guillotine and trim it. You can see that that's perfectly square, and then I have got this little one. Literally, these ones were just leftovers. The next step is going to be to take my guillotine, and I am using the 8.5 by 8.5, and now what I'm going to do is trim that edge in here. Now I do know that I'm just going to be very, you know, a little bit not that careful, and in that sense, but now here I know that this red line should be more or less straight, so I'm lining to the top to the bottom in here to cut that bit. So now I know that I have got a straight angle with the other ones, and then I'm just gonna trim all those bits in there. And again, you can check it again that those lines, the red line, which was the first one that we put in, this is straight. Just gonna put it there and trim those excess bits in there. So I have got now a really nice kind of background or focal point for my card. Now I'm going to trim that bit because it doesn't look good in my eyes. Now those bits in here, some of them I would throw them away, obviously the thin ones, but these ones in here, for instance, that one in there, that I could use, and of course those larger ones as well. So now I grabbed an A6 card that is landscape, and I realized that I want to have a kind of a white edge all around it. So I'm going to trim that bit off a little bit, and then I'm going to take the straight edge die to cut, well, a straight edge, as in there's no, that comes in the kit, and that will create that kind of beautiful wave at the very top. Now I have die cut it, and you can see that the pattern has still remained there of the emboss bit, but it has flattened a little bit, and that's due because I'm using the sticky side down. Now if you didn't want to flatten it out, I recommend that you draw around it and then cut by scissors, because obviously the pressure, the stickiness will hold it down. But I like the texture that you still get, the pearlescent nature that you know, it's perfect. Now you can see that it's a little bit smaller, so I'm just gonna trim that bit in there. You could continue, but I'm just gonna cut it off a little bit more. Now of course that I will keep it for something else, but I have got now a perfect wave in here, and then when I put it in here, it's gonna create that white edge all around it, and I have got here a space for a sentiment. Now I realized that maybe that sentiment is a little bit tight in there to me, so what I couldn't always do is trim the bottom, or just glue it and then trim a little bit more once I know exactly how to do it. So I'm gonna take the trimmer out, the liner, and then I'm gonna use my travel stamp platform to stamp them the message. So I will put the folded card in here. I usually have got 4 magnets. It comes with 2 magnets, but I like to have 4 in there. So I know I'm gonna take the stamp and the winter wishes, which has got a beautiful flourish. I'm gonna center it. Always remember to have clean stamps. They can be stained, but they have to be clean. And a stain by stain means that the ink hasn't completely kind of colored the stamp, but at least it's clean. When you're using the stamp platform, you really need that. So that kind of will work, and then I will trim that a little bit more, place it down, and then take your Nuvo Hybrid ink, which is, you know, I always use it nowadays because it's just the one that gives me the best results. I'm gonna use stamp a second time, because again, you have got that crisp, perfect image in there. And then I'm gonna take it out. I don't take the stamp out until I clean it, so that way I know that if there's a stamp in the platform, it needs to be clean. And then I'm gonna just press it here and then trim the bottom off, and I will have the finished card. I realized that this is a little bit too white, so I'm taking this die included also in the kit, in the Tonic Craft Kit number 11, and I die cut it out of the beautiful green paper. And then I'm gonna take my scissors and position it around here and see where I like it to go. And you can just, because it's handmade paper, it has got a lot of, you know, versatility. So I'm just gonna cut a bit more in there, and so you got flexibility and you can mix it up, and then kind of cut it there, the holly there, just a bit more detail, and then that will be there. So I'm just going to trim that bit off. So see, this is, and oh, that's how I like it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take off the backing off, and now I have got the sticker, and take a little bit like that. And then remove completely the sticker. Start at the bottom, keeping an eye on the sentiment, and then a little bit of glue in there as well would be quite good. And that is my finished card. I hope you like it. See you next month.